it's Shawnee. Welcome back. Today I'm going to do swatches and a look with the new Natasha Denona Mini Pastel palette. So this is her most recent mini that she released like this week. So the palette is in the typical packaging for her mini palettes. You can see that there are 5 shades that I will tell you about. It has this clear cover that you can pop right open, and here are the shades. Now, I did not get the midi-sized pastel palette. I wasn't convinced that the shades would really show up on me. These shades, though, look like they would definitely work for my skin tone as well as a variety of other skin tones. So let me tell you a little bit about the palette, and then I'll do some swatches, and then I will do a look. So, like I said, this palette just released like the other day. And on her website, it says that this mini pastel palette is inspired by the coveted midi-sized pastel eyeshadow palette that flew off the shelves in 2022. I don't know if that's true, but whatever. I don't work there. The mini pastel eyeshadow palette presents 5 new luscious limited edition shades in magical multi-dimensional textures. There's a jewel bright duochrome mint with pink and gold shift. There are 2 icy metallics in baby pink and sky blue. There is a vivid aqua green matte and a sparkling metallic muted cobalt. So those are all of the shades. It's described as long-lasting with no fading, creasing, or fallout. Big claims. Blendable, buildable, and effortless to use. You have to use a little bit of effort. Like, you can't just sit there and have the shades fly on your face. Matte shades are buttery smooth and moisturizing. That's interesting. I don't know that I've ever heard a matte described as moisturizing. For real? Don't you hate when cars do that loud stuff? So the metallic shades are made with crushed crystals and pearls. So you can tell somebody that you're wearing crystals and pearls. And apparently all of the shades are water resistant. I don't know. We'll see. It says that the exceptional among pastel eyeshadows, each of these fresh modern shades offers exquisitely saturated color and a uniquely blendable intensity for everything from subtle to statement looks. All 5 shades in this luxe travel size palette work beautifully on every skin tone, big claims, and blend seamlessly for long-lasting, effortless, pro-level looks on the go. Cruelty-free, paraben-free, gluten-free, that's good. And it's made in Italy. Okay, so they do suggest that you prime your lids with the Natasha Denona's eyeshadow base. Use whatever eyeshadow base you want to. For the matte shades, for a seamless diffused finish, apply in swiping motions with a fluffy eyeshadow brush. And tap off the excess, but I thought they said there wasn't no fallout, so what excess you gonna be tapping off? For maximum color payoff, apply with a soft, dense eyeshadow brush in packing motions and then blend to diffuse. And for the duochromes and metallics, it says to apply with a soft, dense eyeshadow brush in a packing motion. And for a foiled finish, you wanna use a damp, dense eyeshadow brush or your fingertip. So that's all the information we have on here. I'll go ahead and swatch the shades and talk about the formula and what they're described as, and then we'll go in and do an eyeshadow look. So here we go. Okay, so we are ready to do some swatches. Now this first shade here is named Aurora, and it is described as duochrome mint with a gold and pink shift. So it doesn't have much of a base. I'm guessing this is going to be better as a topper, or if you like a very soft kind of ethereal look. For me, on my skin tone, without it having a base, I'm guessing this is going to be a good topper for me. Maybe I can use this over a dark base like a black or a brown, or just over one of the other shades in the palette. This next shade is Twiggy, and it is described as a metallic, icy baby pink. Oh, that is very smooth. That is really nice. That is very smooth to the touch. The next shade here, Ontario, is a metallic icy sky blue. That's also very smooth. She did a great job on these metallics. The next shade is Ari, and it is described as a creamy matte aqua green. Ooh. Oh, I thought she said there wasn't no fallout. Okay. Now, I know some people like her creamy mattes and some people hate them. So if this is not your thing, then there is only one in the palette. So that might help you decide whether or not you want to pick it up. And the last shade is named Sea Star, and it is described as a sparkling metallic muted cobalt. So there is the palette. Again, we have Aurora, which is a duochrome mint with gold and pink shifts. Twiggy, which is a metallic icy baby pink. Ontario, which is a metallic icy sky blue. Ari, which is a creamy matte aqua green. And Sea Star, which is a sparkling metallic muted cobalt. Now here are the swatches, and I wanted to compare them to the Mini Tropic. Do you all remember this? And does anyone still have it? I actually had it in my pile of like maybe gonna declutter just because I've had it for a while and that's it. I've had it for a while. So I'm wondering if this is sort of like an updated kind of version of the Tropic palette. So let's swatch the similar shades with one another. We've got, let's see. So there's nothing really similar to this shade. Let me move this into focus. This one. So that's deeper. Let's see. Maybe this. There's that. That green. Only one. Oh, okay. These creamy mattes are sometimes not so creamy. And then this shimmer here is the only one that is left. Okay, so here are both palettes in comparison. The top 5 shades are the ones from the new Mini Pastel, and this bottom 5, these are the ones from the Mini Tropic. It seems like my Mini Tropic is actually still performing pretty well, except this shade was a little bit harder, a little drier, I would say, at this point now. But I could see having a reason for both of these palettes, maybe even using them together to expand on the shades that you have. The Tropic one is definitely deeper, which makes sense because the Mini Pastel is pastel. So let's go ahead and do a look with the Mini Pastel. Since there's only one creamy matte in there, I might want to use another matte. So I'm going to keep the Mini Tropic out and maybe even have my Viseart Petite Matte, the editorial brights, as well as the dark edit, just for some more matte. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a look. I have like some concealer and powder already on, so I'm just going to focus on my eyes. I will show you everything that I'm using, and I think we can use every shade in the palette. I will try to just stick to this, but for those of you who don't mind pulling in another palette, maybe I will do a look, and then if I want to enhance, I will pick some mattes from another palette just to show some versatility if there is any. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on some music and rock out while I do a look. So here we go. So hopefully you saw the look, and then you saw me do a little adding to it with the Viseart Dark Edit along with the Viseart Editorial Brights, the petite one, just to make the looks a little bit more smiley shiny. So about this palette, the Mini Pastel. So I mentioned that it has 5 supposedly new shades, and they are supposed to be waterproof and all this jazz. Rewind, and I told you all about it in the beginning of the video. Bottom line is, you don't need this. You don't need it at all, at all. The topper shade, this like duochrome here, I find that it's not one of her best. Maybe it's just me, but I'm like, she has other shades that are duochromes that I think perform a lot better. Like I can think of in the My Dream palette, I think that there's a duochrome in there that I think is amazing. This duochrome here, girl, no, I don't need that. The other shades, I think if you have these shades in other palettes, you are not missing out unless you really, really want the Natasha Denona formula. But they lied when they said there's no fallout and all that jazz. Like, whoever that intern is that wrote that, give them a raise, because they did a lot of, like, they were convincing until you actually use the palette. But I feel like my Sugar High palette from Menagerie Cosmetics, I feel like I could get a similar look. Let me grab that. So here's the Natasha Denona Mini Pastel, and then here is the Menagerie Cosmetics. Like, you've got the blue, you've got that pink, here's another pink that's more like a magenta, you've got greens. Like, I feel that this is a better version of the Mini Pastel, just because I've done a look with this and it just like blew me away. While with this Mini Pastel, I felt more comfortable adding other eyeshadow palettes to it. So, bottom line, don't buy this. You don't need it. Or, you know, if you loved the regular or the midi size pastel, maybe you do want a travel friendly version of it. But, I don't think we're missing out on either one of them. So I'm still going to use this. I think it's cute, but it's going to be one that I use with complementing palettes to give me a bit more depth. So I think I'm still right about these pastel palettes not necessarily working the best on my skin tone, at least for me, the way I like to wear my eyeshadow. If you like just a little wash of color, a little sparkle, people have to look real close to see if you have on makeup, and maybe you'll enjoy this. Otherwise, girl, skip this one. Wait for whatever the next one is. Yeah, I think that's it. So I hope that this was helpful. I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. Please be sure to like the video. Thank you, Rhonda, for always liking my videos. Just wanted to give her a shout out. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.